We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to the first episode of Rules You Got Wrong. Well, it's not the first episode. We actually did the show before, but we're reviving it in hopes of having a better communication between us and you about rules issues. And then hopefully we'll accomplish two things here. One, that we'll get more rules right, and two, that we'll be able to have more of a conversation with you about the rules. Because sometimes we get them right, and people think we get them wrong, and they post something, and if somebody else reads that comment, they might think that we got it wrong, but in fact we got it right. So that is what this show is all about. So we can just address those comments here. And so you can help us by letting us know what rules we got wrong. Now, do us a favor and just double check to make sure nobody else has already said it, because sometimes we'll make a mistake and then there'll be like 10 or 20 or 30 comments all saying the same thing. And so just quickly scan through the comments to see if somebody else has already said it. If they haven't, then if you can leave us the time on the video that it happens and be as specific as possible, including page numbers to rule books if you don't mind. That way we can double check to see if we got it right or if you were right. And that will be very helpful. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to try to make the show weekly. I say try because, especially for some of the other games we cover, like War Machine or X-Wing or Fantasy, since they don't have as many games going out, there might not be anything to discuss. And so mostly you'll probably see 40K every week, and then the other games, Fantasy, Age of Sigmar, War Machine, X-Wing, and Armada will maybe be every other week or whatever they happen to be when they need to have discussions. And we'll talk about the games that we did the previous week. Now, since this is going to be our first ones, then we might go back a few more than just last week to cover some of the rules mistakes. And so you can really help us out. And of course, if you think that we get anything wrong in this video, once again, leave a comment discussing it, and we'll bring it up in next week's video. So this will be one of the things that we discuss as well. And so we're going to have each staff member sit down, whether in pairs or by themselves, depending on who did the battle reports, and we're going to cobble those all together into one video for 40K and one for each of the other games as well. And so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and enjoy Rules You Got Wrong.
Pete in our Armada battle report says, enjoyed watching this, but a few things to point out. You only ever trigger one critical effect per attack, so either a card effect or a face-up damage. Absolutely right, and that was again going to being used to playing X-Wing, where you can basically receive 3 to 4 critical effects, and then jumping over to Armada, where you basically just receive the first critical effect, and then the rest are just face-down damage cards, so you only get to resolve one critical. Ships can only recover damage on hull stations, not shield, so it basically, and also this only happens when it ends the movement, not if you start on it. So basically, when we were doing it before, where a ship would land on it, you would recover a shield, that doesn't work that way. The only thing you can do when you land on a repair station is either remove a face-up damage card or a face-down damage card. So again, these are things that we're just learning because we're just starting to play Armada, but you will notice that we are going to start correcting these in the future. And we also thank you guys for these comments, because without them, we probably would miss these little rules errors there. Also for the moving and ending on the station, that it does say at the end of the movement phase. So if a ship starts its movement phase and ends its movement phase on the station, it will get another repair. But if at any point in time its base leaves that station during the movement phase, it no longer gets a repair. So even if it started on there. Again, another small error on our part will be corrected for future battle reports. Hopefully you won't see me make that mistake again. Also, you use Akbar to add a dice only to your side arcs. Again, that was just us misreading a card, mostly me. I looked at the card and went, wow, you get to add an extra attack die. I did not notice it was only on the left and right arcs that you get to add that attack die. So again, another correction. That one was a little bit more just not reading the rules all the way through. So thank you so much for correcting that for me. And for everybody here, we won't make those mistakes again. We'll try not to.